It's safe to say that if you look at the 2010s were pretty much dominated by the Big East. You have 2 championships from Villanova, 2 championships from UConn, and multiple outstanding players from the Big East. If you look at the Big East was basically ran by guards like Kemba Walker, who won him a national championship, Jalen Brunson, Colin Gillespie, Chris Dunn, Marcus Howard, Scotty Reynolds. The list goes on. But a guy who typically flies under the radar that people tend to forget about is Ryan Boatright. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Ryan Boatright's career, and we're going to dive deep into what happened to Ryan Boatright after his career at the University of Connecticut. First, we're going to dive a bit into his childhood. Ryan Boatright was born December 27th, 1992 in Aurora, Illinois. He was born to a 17-year-old mother, and he was predominantly raised by his mom and his grandparents. He ultimately ended up becoming the oldest of 4 younger siblings, and he lived with his cousin Aaron Williams, who lost his mother as a toddler. And because of this, Ryan Boatright was looked at as a father figure or a protector to his cousin and his younger siblings. For Ryan Boatright, Aurora, Illinois didn't have much. It was just a lot of crime going on. And so for him, he found his way out through sports. His grandfather would wake him up at 6 in the morning to go to track practice, and he would go to the local parks and play a lot of basketball and a lot of football. And even though Ryan Boatright ended up being a Division I college basketball player, basketball wasn't his first love. His role model growing up was his grandfather, who was an All-American football player. So of course, like any other young man, his first love ended up being football. He really didn't start focusing on the game of basketball until he reached middle school age. That's when basketball became his primary focus. Once Ryan Boatright got to middle school, Allen Iverson really caught his eye. He fell in love with Allen Iverson's game, which I really can't blame. Allen Iverson is one of the greatest guards of all time, and that really inspired him to lock in and really focus on basketball. And it didn't take long for him to take the basketball world by storm. By the time he was in the 8th grade, at 5'9" and 135 pounds, he got an offer to USC, one of the biggest schools in the country. And before he even decided where he was going to attend high school, he had already committed to USC. Now, obviously, we know that Ryan Boatright didn't attend USC, and a big part of that was because in 2009, head coach of USC, Tim Floyd, ended up getting fired. The guy that offered Ryan Boatright when he was just in 8th grade. So that led to Ryan Boatright decommitting from USC. Once Ryan Boatright got into his senior year at East Aurora High School, he completely was solidified as one of the nation's top players and top scorers. He was ranked the number 49th player in the country according to 24/7 Sports, the 8th ranked point guard, as a 5'10", 155-pound point guard. Smaller guard, but immense talent. He averaged 31.2 points a game his senior year of high school, and at the beginning of his senior year, he actually committed to West Virginia. He committed to West Virginia and Bob Huggins' squad, but he ended up decommitting again from West Virginia and ultimately ended up committing to UConn in April of his senior year and signing to UConn. When Ryan Boatright attended the University of Connecticut, this was in 2011, pre-NIL. So as soon as he walked on campus, as soon as he started to kick off his college basketball career, he got met with adversity. Ryan Boatright ended up missing his first 6 games of the 2011-2012 season after the NCAA discovered that his AAU coach, Reggie Rose, purchased a plane ticket for him. Then later on in the season, in January of 2012, he was withheld from a game again against Notre Dame because it was being investigated that his mom had received improper benefits that included a car. But all of that was settled, and he was granted limited immunity by the NCAA, and he was allowed to continue his freshman season with the University of Connecticut. And overall, he had a pretty decent freshman season. He ended up, even with all the adversity, he played in 25 games, starting 8 of those games, but he played 30 minutes a game. So he was basically a starter for the team. He shot 42% from the field, 37 from 3, averaging 10.4 points a game, 4 assists, and 3.3 rebounds, which is impressive for a sub 6-foot guard. Now, it was during Ryan Boatright's sophomore career where he really started to get national notice in the realm of college basketball. He started all 30 games for the University of Connecticut, and he really snapped, playing 36 of 40 minutes a game, averaging 15 points a game, 4.4 assists. Rebound numbers went down, but we're not expecting a sub 6-foot guard to rebound, averaging 1.5 steals per game, and really becoming a nationally known name in college basketball. So for all my guys that are stat sheet watchers out there, you would look at Ryan Boatright's collegiate stats and you would say that his junior year, his third year of college basketball, was a down year. But what you may not know is during that year, Ryan Boatright lost his best friend, one of the closest people to him, his cousin, Aaron Williams. Remember earlier in the video when I said that his cousin had lost his mother as a toddler and basically grew up with Ryan Boatright? That cousin was killed in Illinois and during January of his junior season. Now, I don't know if y'all have lost somebody in y'all life, but losing a loved one, especially someone so close to you, can really turn your life into a downward spiral. So I believe that could have played an effect on Ryan Boatright's junior season. But I also feel like because of his childhood, because he grew up in rough, gritty Aurora, Illinois, growing up around crime, it really inspired him to take his game to the next level. And throughout the end of that season, Ryan Boatright hit multiple clutch shots, had multiple great performances, and helped lead his team with the help of Shabazz Napier to 7th seed in the NCAA tournament. And once they made the tournament, they did not look back. They continued. Those two players played immaculate basketball and ended up winning the 2014 NCAA championship. Now, in a year for most hoopers will be one of the best years of their life because they were able to win a national championship at the college basketball level. I felt like that year kind of was bittersweet because Ryan Boatright lost something that he can never get back. But in return, he got something that he can carry with him throughout the rest of his life. So after winning the national championship, Shabazz Napier ended up going on to the NBA, which made it Ryan Boatright's time at UConn. He now had the keys. It was his time to show what he was truly capable of as a number one guard to one of the nation's top teams. And in my opinion, Ryan Boatright didn't disappoint. He had a great senior season, averaging 17 points a game, shooting 42% from the field, 41 from 3, which is amazing. He averaged 4 assists per game, 4 rebounds a game, had an overall great year. The only problem is when it comes to the NBA at that time, the NBA was transitioning towards bigger guards. Now, mind you, I said throughout this video, Ryan Boatright was a sub 6-foot guard. At this point, he was listed at 6 foot, 175 pounds, which was going to make his chance in the NBA that much harder. Ultimately, his lack of size led him to go undrafted in the 2015 NBA draft. However, he did get a summer league opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets, and he ended up playing 9 games. It didn't disappoint, in my opinion. He averaged 14.1 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, and 2.2 assists, shooting 45% from the field and 48% from the three-point range, which is phenomenal. But, like I said, he was a sub 6-foot guard in a league that was starting to move away from the smaller guards. And so he didn't get that big time, that big show opportunity, which led to him being in the G League. Now, the G League isn't a failure at all. I've said this in previous videos. It's still professional basketball. Guys are still getting paid to play the game that they love. And Ryan Boatright's first year in the G League, he played for the Grand Rapids Drive, and he averaged 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Playing good basketball. But after that season, he spent a lot of time overseas playing in different countries. He played in Italy, China, Croatia, Turkey, before even coming back to the States to try to give himself another NBA shot. And in 2018-19, he ended up coming back to the States, playing in the G League again for the Agua Caliente Clippers and the Texas Legends. But after not having the best performances there, he decided to take his talents back overseas, and since has been playing in Spain, playing in Lithuania, playing in France, playing in Israel, in Greece, Venezuela, etc. And I will leave a graphic with his stats on the screen for you all to see, because he's played for a lot of different teams. And I feel like this video would be an hour long if I just went through his performances for those different teams. So because of that, I'm gonna let y'all pause the video and be able to get a brief look on his performances during his time overseas. But I would say Ryan Boatright had a pretty successful career. And in a time where in America, in the NBA, smaller guards weren't being valued, he was able to find his value somewhere else and be able to make a 10+ year pro career and be able to play the game he loves for a living. I think that's great. That's phenomenal. And to be able to come from adversity, to be able to come from poverty, and to be able to rise up and achieve your dreams is something that anybody would ask for, anybody would love. And so with that being said, this is the story of Ryan Boatright. This is what happened to Ryan Boatright. If you like the video, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe, you share the video with your friends. And please let me know if you have any video ideas, and I'll work on them. With that being said, I'm out.